Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your astrological forecast for March 2016, and it's a big month. We got some eclipses going on. We have the total solar eclipse and we got the partial lunar eclipse, and I will be putting together a special for that just so you can get more information just upon the eclipses. However, though, it is a month here where you're going to be reaching for the stars, so to speak. And this is because the sun, which represents you, is now radiating through that ninth house of higher consciousness. So you will come to see that March is going to be a month where you're wanting to explore those higher realms. You might be finding yourself doing more research online or reading up things. It's all about educating oneself, which is the ninth house keyword, right? So that doesn't mean going back to school, but you can definitely start perhaps maybe feeling you'd like to take on a course or something of that matter. But the ninth house is also foreign places and people, so you might even feel the itch to be on the move and travel. Now we have the new moon in this area as well, and that is where we put down our intentions. So we want to kind of focus on this area that we want to grow and expand more this year. It's going to be a full year before that new moon comes back to this area. Then we have also Venus and Mercury in the sign of Aquarius, currently now cruising through your 8th house. This has to do with those things that are important to you as far as sharing your resources with your partner. Venus, again, that is money, but it's also how you intimately share. It might be a time to explore new realms, as Aquarius really likes to be experimental somewhat. And there's the depth of that 8th house, that Scorpion energy, that's kind of like filtering through as well. Mercury is here at least as we start out the month, and so for that reason you will find yourself communicating upon these areas just as we start off the first few days there of March. Mars is in the sign of Scorpio, kind of like lingering on the last couple of degrees there before it moves into Sagittarius, and Mars for you is in the 5th house. So you might have felt here throughout this last month of February that things were really, really nice as far as deepening your emotions, sharing activities, all this Marsian passion with your partner. And some of you might have found a new partner here in February, as Mars is really putting people upon your path. For those of you who are single, those of you in a relationship, you might have found yourself now really taking some extra time off to one another, because the 5th house is all about fun, right? But it's going to be moving into the 6th house, where it's going to remain for the most part of March, and that's going to give you more drive and focus and energy on your day-to-day schedule. You will see that you're going to be clearing out certain things and allowing yourself to get more, shall I say, on track with those things that can be helpful for you as far as getting your routines and schedules set in a good way. Think about it this way too, though, that Mars only comes to this area once every 2 years. So when it's in a specific house, we want to look at where we can draw the most potent energy from it. And so you're going to be looking at your health, your diets, what you eat and what you shouldn't be eating. You'll be looking at clearing out the closets, the garage, your desk, setting things in order. Normally we do that little by little, you know, throughout the month and whatnot, but those deep cleanings come when Mars is there, because why? It energizes us to do so. So it'll be fun. Then we have Jupiter still here, Cancer, in your 3rd house. So I could see how some of you, many of you in fact, have been a little bit more on the move as far as short trips, getting out and about, even if it's just a short road trip. But Jupiter also brings about that longing to visit places far away. And so you might be dreaming up a storm here in March of where you want to go this summer for your summer vacation. Saturn is in the 6th house already, so many of you have been feeling this inherent stronger drive to secure things. You're more focused on really getting down to the nitty-gritty, and some of you might have been finding yourself in a place of helping, reaching out to others, being supportive of people in need. We can see that when Saturn is in this area. Uranus in the 10th house, well, that has changed, and as I've heard from so many of you, you've been changing up your career. Some of you still looking for that perfect new job, and whatever that might be. And more of you Cancerians are actually also looking into what you can do as far as starting your own business. That's an exciting situation, and the entrepreneurship is growing within you. Why? Because you have so many talents and skills that can go out as services for other people. We have Neptune, also another long-term planet. The transit is going to still be here for quite a number of years, but it is up there in your 9th house. And you Cancerians, you've always been quite intuitive. It's inherent in your nature, but you're growing, you're expanding, and tapping into the multidimensional levels of who you are. And I can see over these next coming years how more and more of you are going to be deepening into the areas of metaphysics and spirituality, taking on courses, classes, or maybe also wanting to educate yourself within these areas for a potential new career down the road. Then we have Pluto as the last planet here. We're going to be mentioning today in your 7th house. It's transforming your relationship and how you relate to people closely, one-on-one, not necessarily just your significant other, which of course this is a big area for you, but it's also how you relate to people, whether it's partners or it's co-workers, could even be friendships. It's like you've probably noticed how your focus has changed as far as the topics that are important to you, because you're growing, you're deepening, you're widening your consciousness, you're transforming, and so the people that you relate to, you will come to see that these interactions too are taking on a deeper level. But we have a wonderful month. We have tons of transits going on here in March as opposed to in February. It wasn't as busy, but it was beautiful there in February. So now we have more action coming in. Starting off on the 2nd of March, Venus and Uranus is going to bring you some unexpected news. It could be news of money. It's Venus. It could also be something relating to love and romance. And on the 6th through the 8th, we have you looking at some, I feel, decisions, Cancer, because the Sun is you. And first it's going to square off on Saturn, having to deal with something of importance between you and a partner. Then we have Pluto coming in here with a 6th house, which is a great aspect to have, very deep and transformative, taking place on the very same day, the 6th. On the 8th, it's you, and looking at, from a higher perspective, I feel, it's opposing Jupiter. So Jupiter is coming in from your 3rd house, and the Sun now in the 9th house. It's more like, well, where do I want to go? Do I want to have short trips? Do I want to have long trips? For those of you who communicate or have a career within communication, or as a writer or a presenter, well, this month is definitely going to be putting this here upon your scope, as Jupiter wants to expand, and you're really getting this higher energy coming up from the 9th house. So a great expansion there on the 8th. On the 14th, a few decisions. Mercury is going to be very active. Mercury rules our communication and the way we think. It's our mindset. It's the linear way of communication. And first it's going to square off on Saturn on the 14th, and then here incorporate the sextile of Pluto on the 15th, and also its opposition to Mercury, no, to Jupiter. So when we have all of this going on, this is you looking at, how do I get from here to there? Should I do it this way or that way? Choices coming up. And but listen to your intuition, and especially because Mercury is connected here to Jupiter, which wants to give you a higher perspective, a wider perspective. Don't think in small terms or just necessarily in short time spans. It's Jupiter is wanting to have you look at the long-term aspect of things when you make your decision. And Pluto will help you plug it in and power it up. There on the 14th too, you might have some communications here with a partner or somebody you trust. Venus and Mars are square. So the intensity is definitely at hand from what you believe, what you feel is right, and then the action you want to take. And you're trying to kind of make this decision, so you might be like this, but that Mercury on these 2 days, tying up with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, will help you to really find that perfect solution. So pay attention to who you're talking with and listen to yourself here on the 14th, 15th. I feel what you're going to be driving at there, that is already going to come back to you on the 16th. Jupiter, which is expansive, it's also that higher consciousness that you have coming in with a beautiful trine to Pluto, which is really going to turn the key. You're going to see where it is you're at. You've found your solution. Pluto is going to transform this for you. So you're feeling really great between the 16th and the 20th. The 20th, also something new coming in, as Venus and Neptune, they are conjunct. So that could be something financial right now that you're going to see that ties into that higher dream that you have, but it's also a very romantic aspect when Venus and Neptune come together. So circle that on your calendar. On the 24th, again here, moving forward, powering up. I see you communicating in a very energetic way, because Mars is involved. And so you're convinced about something. I see you putting it out there, and the feedback you're going to be getting in return, I feel too, is extremely supportive. So you're cruising, and you have power days coming up there on the 26th, when you have the Sun and Mars also trining, just like it did with Mercury on the 24th. And then Venus and Pluto coming together in a sextile 26th. This is money. Venus rules money, Pluto rules big money, but it's also our emotions. It's love, it's Venus, and then the passion of Pluto coming in. So you're feeling good with what you have accomplished thus far here in March. And so it's leaving you feeling that you not only feel like you're on top of the world, but that you have really accomplished something to be proud of. Now, where are you going to take it? That's the big question, you know, because one thing is to establish it, and then it's like, now what? Where is it going to go? How is it going to develop down the road? Should I do this or that? So you have here between the 29th and the 31st, days where Mercury is going to be highly stimulated. And Mercury is your thinking process. It's your communication with others. I feel there's support coming in here from Saturn with Mercury, with a beautiful trine. So this is a day to have an interview, a review, or signing contracts, documents. And on the 30th, you will feel there's that cut-through energy. And then there on the 31st, unexpected news, Mercury and Uranus. So you can see it's an exhilarating month, a lot to be accomplished, and not to forget the total solar eclipse, which is starting new things there on March 8th, and the new moon, the full moon there on the 23rd, which is also partial lunar eclipse, which is going to cause endings. Okay, so you're going to begin things and you're going to end things. So it's a month where there's a lot that will be taking place. I would suggest listening to your moon and rising sign this month just to see where all the action is happening in other areas of your life, which will be represented through it. And I will also be posting your tarot readings for March to see what that will bring you. I'll see you in April. Have a good one, everybody.